Bonjour. Hello. Hola. If you're here, be sure to say hello in the chat. Let's see who's hanging out with us today. What's up, Marie? Genicia? Oh, I hope I haven't butchered that. Apologies if I have. How's everybody doing? Right, I can hear a little bit of music now at the same time. Perfect. Right, let's switch this around, shall we? Bonjour. Right, nice. Thank you, Marie. I appreciate that. I was over the moon. I think it was what, Monday or maybe even Sunday night. I think it was Monday morning. But yeah, I was very, very happy. Just considering it was like an end of year target, I was very, very pleased. So that's awesome. What's up, Bart? How you doing? Evening, officer. Alright, let's make sure the iPad's in Do Not Disturb. Just let me know if you can hear any echo from the music. If you can hear an echo, then let me know and I'll turn it down. Actually, I'll do it a little bit. What's up, Jordan? What's up, Fabio? Right, let's switch this around, shall we? So today, as you can see from the title, I want to do like we did one for 30,000 on Instagram, like a little, just a one-off design just for that, so I can post it tomorrow on Instagram from tonight. So just a little 20k little design, so no doubt some neon or something like that, but we'll have a look. So let's just switch this around and have a look. Oh, it's a bit crooked, isn't it, for you? As much as you're gonna get for a second, because I need to make sure this stays in position a little bit. Now, there's always music in the background. There's always music in the background of the stream. I just keep it really quiet, but usually I have my headphones on, don't I? But I can't be bothered to put them on, so I've got them playing out the speakers in the background, so I don't want it echoing all the way through, so I don't want it going nuts for you guys. I'm watching from South Africa. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. And also a new face in the chat. Cool. Okay, so I've got the YouTube logo, which I'm going to use, of course, as a basis. Now, what I imagined is that the 20,000 text is going to be a piece of text for the 2. Then the O is going to be the YouTube logo, and then 1,000, of course, written underneath as well. So a little something like that. Little something like that. So a nice chilled one. I was really happy. Good week as well, this week as well, wasn't it? We got the Pen.Tips video went live, so that's done really well in terms of reception from Pen.Tips. I'm really pleased with how they what they thought of it, which is great. Hopefully you can do more sort of like how can I put this, more like business content in the future with businesses. Let's just make sure this is pretty accurate in height. I feel like I've got a little bit more headroom there to go. There we go, it's a bit better. What's up, Holly? How are you doing? Love the micro world tutorial, so freaking cool. I appreciate that. It's a really fun tutorial to do, isn't it? It's a bit different, bit more photo editing, of course, but and a bit more of a Photoshop style vibe, because it's quite common in the Photoshop space. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed it. And it's Jordan's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Let's have a little party. Happy birthday to you, Jordan. What are you getting up to today? Cool. And then I don't know whether to do something here where they layer or we put them just side by side. I think side by side is pretty cool. And then let's add some more text on another layer. Move that down a smidge, like that. So I'm kind of imagining that's the scene, and then they're going to be 3D, pitched at an angle sort of thing, create some nice depth in there as well. It's going to look sick. Bart says, there's always music in the background of my mind though, Joe. Alright, fair dues, fair dues. Friday's tutorial. Do you know what? Talking about YouTube tutorials, I am so excited for next week's tutorial to go up that I was like, oh, do I just like publish it on like Tuesday? Can't publish it on Tuesday because we've got the next Patreon tutorial coming out on Tuesday. I was like, well, do we just like do one on the weekend? Can't do that because it doesn't fit in with my Instagram posting routine and the what's it called? How the posts like run into each other, so that all the backgrounds link into each other, so it doesn't fit in with my posting schedule either. I was like, oh. So it's a banger for next week. It's a really cool design. Right, let's maybe duplicate all these. And I know I say that a lot, and but certain ones I know I just look at and I'm like, that's gonna do very well. Oh, you're working from home as well, Jordan. At least you can be a bit sneaky. I'm thinking a little something like that, maybe. Move that into the center. Maybe a little something like that. For perspective wise, I think that could look pretty cool. We can get some nice angles on the YouTube logo there. What's up, Wendy? How are you doing? I'm watching on vacation. Are you enjoying yourself? Whereabouts are you in the world? I'm badly following a Bob Ross tutorial ATM, and it got too hot for painting though. Or sort of, I guess that's like a landscape, of course, isn't it? I love Bob Ross's videos. Alpha lock this, so I'm just going to do the 3D look first before we progress on. The only thing I was debating doing as we go through this is making the YouTube logo sort of 3D in the center, like that would be a 3D cutout. I think I can get away with doing it later on if I do change my mind, but that's something I was thinking of doing. Then I'm also going to do like a double perspective, so it makes it, this is pointing down and these are pointing backwards, so we end up with double perspectives on there. Leah is watching from the Camino Islands in Washington. Ah, cool. What's up, Julie? How you doing? Good to see you. Good. Right, let's do the two. Let's just link this up. Oh, selection tool, please. Yeah, so we've got the new tutorial for Patreon coming out. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what, if there's a few patrons in the chat, let's just have a wheel I'll chat about Patreon tutorials. Now, I always try to make sure that they're spread out across the month. So in a month like this month, you end up where I've had to sort of take a week, not take a week off, but you haven't had one this week because I've pushed it back to the following week so that they're spread across the month. So what I mean is, would you rather have 3... Oh yes, I'm the wrong. I'm not doing that one just yet. Would you rather have 3 tutorials back to back to back, regardless if they would then come at you at, say, the 1st, the 7th, and the 14th, and then you'd have nothing for the rest of the month? Or would you rather have the 1st, the 7th, and then wait till the 21st, so it spreads it out across the month? Because the reason I've done it this month, how I've done it, is, so would you rather them be spread out, or would you rather them be back to back? That's for your answer in the chat. But the reason I've done that is just because I feel like a lot of people always say to me, you know, oh God, you know, trying to keep up all the time, you know, with all the tutorials, I need to get this one done, I need to get this one done. And I think, well, that way at least you get a chance to sort of have a break and catch up that way. But let me know what you think. I might put a poll out on Patreon tomorrow just to see what people think as well. Oh, this 1,000 text is going to take ages to link up. Some of you might not even care that much. It's just like, you know, we'll get them when we get them. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Don't stress. You'd rather wait, Jordan, so it spreads it out a little bit more. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I just think, you know, I want to make sure you're all happy with the schedule. I don't want people sort of thinking, oh, there's nothing else. You know, we ain't heard from you for a couple of weeks, but then you wouldn't hear from me towards the end of the month either. Do you know what I mean? You'd have all 3 of them back to back to back, and then wouldn't hear from me for a little while in terms of a tutorial till the following month. So, but I know some people like they support multiple creators, so they pick and choose which tutorials they do here and there. So, you know, prioritize which ones really take their fancy. What's up, Stefan? Hello from the Netherlands. I love your videos, man. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you dropping in and sharing the love. And Julie, I missed the question. What was it? Oh, yes. You're coming here late and you're not listening. No, I was saying would you rather have, or if so in a certain month, like this month, I think, the way the month works out is you got your tutorials, like say the 1st of the month, the 7th, the 1st, the 8th, and then the 15th. Yeah, that works out. But I've gone ahead and rather than give you on the 15th, I've pushed it back a week to the 22nd, basically, so that the tutorials are spread out across the month. So would you rather have them back to back, week to week to week, and then you'll end up with a quiet end of the month on my Patreon? Or would you rather have the gap involved so that you 2 back to back, have a week off, and then get back to the 3rd one following? So back to back or spread out, basically, is your responses in the chat. What else was I going to say to you folks? We'll deal with one thing at a time. I don't want to overload you. Right, let's Let's link up all this text. So just a little one-off design today. I've been working really hard on tutorial concepts and stuff, so it's actually going to be quite a bit of fresh air for me to just draw something freely and it not be somewhat tutorial based, because I've got quite a few concepts already done. Again, the one that's coming next Friday, is sick. I already had another one recorded, and I'm going to push that back a week because I want to get this one out as quickly as possible. Okay, I think that's all of it. I think all the text now is linked up. Just checking over that. I think that looks pretty good. Sick. You quite like the spread out, as I've never got time to complete them straight away and always feel behind. Gotcha. Exactly. That is the exact reason why I did it. So that a lot of people say for that same reason that with so many creators and stuff and people supporting lots of different ones, and just on YouTube as well, you will get tutorials every week from all your creators. There's quite a lot to keep on top of, and you've got to pick and choose what you do and do not want to do for each week. So that's cool. I think I'll put a poll out on Patreon probably tomorrow. Okay, cool. So I want to create some 3D depth in here somehow. So like a border around the YouTube bit, and then maybe that will play into the rest of the layer. So I'm going to basically mess with the YouTube logo area here first, and then just see what we come up with, basically. See what we like, and then just drag it into the rest of it. Had a good week. Like I said, I was really pleased with the how the Pen.Tips situation went. They loved the video. They added it to their Kickstarter campaign, which was really cool. So that features on their Kickstarter as one of the updates. And again, like I said to you the other day, real feeling very privileged that the one of the only creators to get the early access to it. So super happy. Let's go ahead then and do that one more time. So I'm thinking we then duplicate this layer, flipping the mask that to that, the dark color, and drag it into there. Wow, this is getting a bit technical. That's the base layer, that one's there. We drag that one into there, and we grab both of these, and I think we then move it down and we scale it down again. So that's going to be like a border, a 3D edge to it, so that needs to go all the way around. There we go. And so we've got the border followed by a bit of depth, and then we have, so that looks a bit more 3D, right? That looks cool. Okay, that looks quite nice. We're gonna have to do this for all the other text though. Probably not the 1000, it's way too small. I think these ones up here will make them kind of like indented and 3D, and then come back to it afterwards. Let's go ahead and isolate this here. So we just need to create a new layer and drag that into white, and then this layer we're going to go ahead, alpha lock it and fill it. So we're going to get rid of it. That makes me nervous about moving that. Let's duplicate that and then just leave a backup. I always do that. I do that all the time. Create multiple layers, even if you think, just in case I need to come back to that layer in any way, you're still good to go. Right, so now we've got the play symbol. We can go ahead and duplicate it. It's looking a bit janky though. Let's go ahead and just do it manually. Let's just grab the selection tool, freehand color fill. Love your watercolor pet video. I really like that one. I appreciate that. The concept's good. I know it's been a bit tricky for a few people, and unfortunately the whole concept of doing pet portraits is there's so much variety with pets that it's never going to necessarily work perfectly for that particular instance, because obviously I'm doing something a little bit different to some other creators' watercolor designs. I was going to say tattoos there. it's worked for quite a lot of people, so that's pretty cool. It's a nice new way of doing it. Maybe a new way that someone hasn't done before. Let's grab grey. Let's move out of here and let's go down. Let's see if we can get that to match up. What's up, Akin? How you doing? Thanks for dropping in. So we're just creating a little celebratory sort of 20k design for the stream idea today. So something like this. I'm gonna unclip that. Yeah, so these layers are free. Then we're gonna create a new layer to this one. And grab a darker grey. Run a selection through this point here. Yeah, that's cool. I think, to be honest with you, the 3D look in the center there of the plus symbol is probably going to go anyway. I think that'd look really cool with some white neon bars in the center. I know it's new. It's always neon. You love it. If you don't, you're in the wrong spot. Cool. So again, I'm going to do the YouTube one first, then just do everything else to in the same fashion to everywhere else, should I say. So I'm thinking of dropping this down. Let's do some bars. Julie, congratulations on the 20k, by the way. Remember when you were celebrating 5k, officially famous? Yeah, right. But I appreciate it. You were probably, yeah, in stream, I would imagine I would have said something. Is that right? It has absolutely, I mean, this year's been mad anyway, like because of the what's it called, the Easter tutorial. That one just absolutely flew. Drop a little something there, and then just erase the. Whoop. I want to get used to doing like these little sort of where the bars sort of go into the shape, and then you create like 3 individual shapes. So I'm pretty sure this is going to look pretty janky towards the end, but we'll see. Hopefully I can get the perspectives right and all that sort of stuff. But just trying to just create the 3D look to them, making sure that they kind of look like they run into the base of the shape somehow. That one's a bit tricky, that one up there. What I might do is do this edge first. I think the angle's playing against me a little bit here too. Can you see what I mean there? We're just trying to make it look like they are sort of like paper clips. They come up and then go across, and then that's what we're trying to make them all look like. So I think this one here, I'm going to have to sort of live with it, that it's not going to look 100%. But that looks pretty good in terms of perspective, so I'm actually pretty pleased with that. Then just cut through these edges here. Round off these edges here just a little bit more. Round off those corners. Okay, that's cool. That's going to look pretty sick. Nice to see your comment, Julie, earlier on in the Procreate for Beginners group. I always take a random little gander in there just to see if there's anything, or usually it's a post like, you know, does anybody know any good YouTube creators or anything like that? which I always try and keep an eye out for. Throw your name into the hat. So that's perfect on that angle. Let's drag this one into, say, here. And now this is where the bars are probably too close together to pull this effect off. I have to separate them. If you're here in the chat, be sure to say hello. Let's see who's hanging out with us today. And if you're new here, be sure to say hello. Everybody's super friendly. Welcome to the stream. Doesn't look quite right. That does a little bit more. There we go. So that kind of looks now like it's kind of 3D bars with just little sort of, I don't know, grommets of some sort that just like connect them up through sort of the back then, or something like that. Always your cheerleader. I appreciate that. Let's what could we do? Do we just run the lines like the same as this? So let's maybe just one line like that, bring that inside a little bit. Not too much though, maybe a little something like maybe this. See, that angle's a bit wrong, but we can make it work. We can rotate that around a smidge, bring that inside, maybe to like there. What's up, Petra? Hello to all. Congrats on arriving at 20k. I find all your videos very helpful. Thanks for that. You are very welcome, and thanks for dropping in the chat. It's good to see some new faces. The other ones are getting a bit boring, like, do you know what I mean? Can we maybe just drag that out? Just cheat a little bit. It's a funny perspective to try and get this to work. Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. Not since I came back. I knew that I'd get a reaction. Let's just grab this up, just move it up just a little smidge. So Sebastian, how's it going? How are you doing? Let's duplicate this layer. Let's select this shape. So I'm just going to select it, remove it from this one, clear that one, and then alpha lock it, fill it with white, cheat a little bit so that I can bring this up here do, say, this layer here, and then if I scale this down a little bit in size, I can get the perfect ratio of the bars. Let's drag that back down actually, so it sits inside, so that I can hide little parts of it potentially. Harsha says, congrats on 20k. I appreciate that. Thanks for dropping in. Sebastian says, doing good, about to work. How are you? I'm very good, my friend. Very good. Just a little celebratory sort of 20k design. I typically tend to do this like when there's a little something to draw topic wise. Like I think we hit 30k on Instagram. I did one recently similar to the idea of this. So it's always good to just have a little topic to draw in a way, and also for me to be able to draw a bit freely without it being a little tutorial based one. I think that's gonna work, but it doesn't, it's not filling me with confidence. All right, let's just try and turn off the alpha lock. Oh, and let's just start to erase. So let's erase around this corner. Around this edge as well. So this is going to be, I guess, it's going to be a lot of the same techniques that you saw in the Procreate design that I did recently. The 3D look to it, the sort of chamfered edges and stuff like that. So little things like that you'll see, and just in a same skill set, just used in a slightly different way, in a slightly different design. But all of these are little things that I do teach to everyone. It's just whether, like, you can then just take those skill sets and put them into creating different designs. Thinking a little something like this. Angle wise, I need to check that looks okay. Now this edge, probably just going to drag down into there, but straight line would be better, Joe. So maybe just drag that to there, and then this one also. Okay, let's do that one. I'm not particularly confident in the width of those bars, but I think they'll do. And then let's grab these sort of grommy things and then move them into position. So I feel like they're just like little holes that the bars are just making their way through. Yes, sir. Love it. I seen you out on Instagram and I seen you were live, so I hopped in to learn the Procreate ways. I appreciate that. It's good to see people dropping in from Instagram as well, because I do post that every week on the story. So it's good to see that you're coming from that direction. So it's obvious that that's got to be scaled up a little bit. Or something like that. This bar's a bit thick, isn't it? Question is, can we get away with it? Can we just scale this down a little bit? Let's clip to the red layer. I need to clip it to the red layer. I'll leave it for a sec. We'll come back to it. See this little layer here? Actually, could I just erase that? Okay, that might work. Should we maybe, thinking whether or not just for a second. Whoa, I feel like I'm getting lots of ghost touches and I don't know why. Maybe that is a bit better. So they're a bit thicker in the center, kind of match that perspective a little bit more. That's cool. Okay, so we're getting there in terms of building that up. And the inside there, that's going to look pretty sick. We can do something with the 2, so let's get all of the foundations done first. And my layer count's going to be through the roof. I need to try and make sure I get rid of things I don't need. The 2, let's grab this one here. Why am I getting random touches? Is it the tips loose? That's better. Let's grab a grey. Let's alpha lock this layer and fill it. If it's clipped, you can drag that down and start to create that 3D look on the inside of the text. We need to mimic this. So we need that nice border, which is going to be a bit trickier to do with a 2. In fact, that's going to be very tricky to do. That's going to be the border. Yeah, you just work it. Can you see the cogs moving? Can you see the cogs moving a little bit? So I'm just trying to work it, because the YouTube logo is nice and simple. It's just a rounded rectangle. You can create these layers. So we've got the border followed by an insert in here, which shows the depth on the inside, and then the background layer, which is the red bit. But this 2 is a bit trickier. We need to create the border around the outside and then create the depth from that. So what we might have to do is do that selection trick. So let's create a new layer. We'll select the shape of this one and go up to nope, feather. We'll go up to say 3% maybe. And go to this empty layer, fill it, and then duplicate the life out of it until it's a nice solid shape. Fortunately, compared to like Photoshop, there is no way of creating a stroke around the outside. So that is what we have to do otherwise. Now that gives us the stroke on the outside, but it's not very big compared to that one. Let's try and spend the time to get that right. It's got to be 3 times bigger, so select that, feather this out, and let's go up to about sort of 8%. Go up to this empty layer, fill that, and duplicate the life out of it. It's quite annoying that there isn't a stroke option. So in Photoshop, you can literally just create a stroke and it fill the whole thing in nice and tidy. Whereas this is starting to get a bit pixelated there. You have to alpha lock the layer and fill it again. It doesn't look very good. What could we do here? What could we do? I kind of wanted to make it 3D as well in the same way like that, but I could just put the lights on the outside, but it's not going to match. But these cogs are moving. These cogs are moving, but it's a struggle. Trial and error, absolutely. The only other option, which I'm trying to avoid, to be honest with you, is literally just manually outlining it. But I don't think I have much of a choice, unfortunately. I'd much rather not do this. I don't think we have an option, kids. Let's create this line up here, and let's just get the straight lines in first and see what we can do with the rest of it. Oh, little follow up to last week as well. I mentioned in the stream, which Pen.Tips did actually watch, that I don't have the brand new in the Kickstarter, the pen map that they've designed, and they said as soon as they have one in stock available for me, they're going to ship us one out, so I can do another little video for that one as well. That one's a really interesting concept, because it is a map that you put on your over the screen. It literally it's magnetic, so it just clips onto the front of the screen, and you just pop it on and off when you want to draw and when you don't want to draw, which I think is a pretty cool idea. It means that you don't end up having to obviously keep it on permanently. Something like that, and then let's just try and sharpen that line up. That's gonna have to do, I'm afraid. Let's maybe just scale that down a smidge. Just a little bit onto there, onto those lines, maybe. And then this line here, I'm just going to warp this outwards as well, and I think that's just about right. So we've got our outline. It's not what I wanted to do, but it is what it is. Does it only work for certain iPads? I don't think mine has magnetic parts. Apparently it works with a lot of them, so fingers crossed it works for everybody, but I'm sure they'll let me know as and when. But I do think that a lot more iPads than you think have the magnets. I just don't know, like because they've been in iPads for a long time, haven't they? Where you can make the iPad go to sleep by like buying a folio case, like I've got. You know, the ones that just fold over on themselves and flat on the screen, and then the magnets turn off the screen. So there should be some magnets in there of some sort. You'd hope that they'd have thought about it. Do you know what I mean? Let's grab this then. This is going to create the inside walls of the text. That's looking cool. So what we'll do is we'll change this one here to a really light grey for a sec, so we can just see what it looks like. And then this one here, we're going to change this to white, and then tap on that and fill it. So now we've got the 3D look on the inside of that ish. Yeah, there should be something hopefully for it to clip onto. And then on the inside of this one, I want to do similar to what we did with our 2022 design, where we have a sort of light bulb moment on the inside. So create a light bulb of sort and then duplicate it a few times to fill the space. A little bit like that for scale, I think, should do the trick. Getting lots of random ghost errors. Like my content's moving up the screen and I'm not touching it. This is just roughly positioning them so I can just get a gauge for how many we can fit in here, and do they need to scale up and down. What's up, Elizabeth? How are you doing? Hi everyone, and congrats to Joel on 20k subs. I appreciate it. Thanks for dropping in. How are you doing? I'm very good, Jay. Thanks for asking. Very good. I had a very good creative day yesterday with drawing different designs. I was saying earlier on that I've drawn a tutorial that comes out next week on YouTube, and I actually can't wait for it to come out. It's a banger. Okay, cool. So can you see that kind of effect there of sort of the light bulbs on the inside of the text? That's kind of the look I'm going for on the inside there. So yeah, let's kind of get started then. I reckon over here, I need to envision a light source. I'm kind of thinking there'll be a light source in behind up here. So shining that way, and that way I can cast some shadows onto the floor at the same time. So let's do something like that. Let's go right down to our background. Let's grab a white. Let's go to airbrushing. And let's just increase. Oh, well, that's enormous. Let's lower this down a little bit. So we need to get a good drift of color side to side there. A little something like that. So we've got a bit of a light source. Again, it always comes out really bright on the camera, but it really isn't that bright. A little something up here, a little something up there. Yeah, good video. I'm super excited for it. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. What should we do? What should we do? What should we do? What should we start on? I think let's work on like here, I think. So this is going to be tricky because I need to sort of select this layer, even though the layer is already clipped, and like mask a layer within the layers to make it work. What's up, Milo? How are you doing? And you are excused for being late. That is no problem. How are you doing? Julie was like 3 weeks late, so it doesn't really matter. It's all good. Not even that, probably a month. You've just forgiven Milo, but because of the delay, you don't know what I've said just yet. I'm waiting for that to come through. Nice, that's looking good. Let's do some brighter tone here. Whoa, a bit too bright. Push that out to the left. Very basic for a second. I'll forgive you. You're my cheerleader online, in the chat, in the threads. Oh, that's looking nice. Let's reduce this brush size down, and let's draw in a line that kind of reflects where these bars are going to be. So what I'm trying to do there is just show there's a reflection into this sort of space here from the bars. Nice. Ooh, that's looking nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Nice. Oh, have we seen a sneak peek of the balloon? Yeah, that was on was that yesterday? I think I shared a sneak peek of the next Patreon tutorial. Yeah, we haven't seen Dobby. I know is busy with the house that she's renovating. So she's got a lot on with that, and I don't know about Rebel either. Popped in recently though, for a little bit. What's going on here? Oh, I'm on the mask, that's why. Just trying to reflect them on the inside there, make that look nice and crisp. And then let's go around to the outside edge before we carry on, which I think is this the outside edge? Yeah. Let's just clipping mask later to that, and let's add in the basic tones. So there's a light source up at the top here, so we're just gonna brush around. Maybe actually let's lower the opacity down to that. Let's go down to a brighter tone, but let's change that to add. What's up, Troy? How are you doing? Good to see you. Work let up enough for me to come and say hi. Awesome. How's your day going? How was your day? So again, that kind of like little metal chamfered look a little bit on the outside edge here. Make that look nice and 3D, nice and glossy, nice and shiny. And then we can get into some darker tones. Let's grab like a darker red there. Create a new layer. And then just darken up this bottom edge down here. That's looking cool, quite like that. The front here is going to be a tricky one to do because there's not really a lot to do to it. So maybe I can just grab this one here. We probably need to go with a bit of a darker tone because it faces away from the light source. So actually let's drag that into there. And then let's try and create some nice color on top of that. So the add tool here, the add option. Little edge on the top there. Maybe a little one in the corner here that just runs all the way across around there. And then some big generic sort of line dashes through. Again, to make it look nice and shiny. Maybe even change that out to like a really bright pink. Run that through. Oop. Run that through maybe the highlight areas. There's something maybe like this. See how nice and again, it's always coming across a bit more saturated on your end. Doing good. I just finished up to 60-hour pencil drawing that's colorized in Procreate. Is that the building one that you were doing that I saw on Discord? And Elizabeth, thanks for popping in. Have a wonderful day. I appreciate you dropping in. Yeah, I can see your message now about Discord. Awesome. How did that feel to get through such a big project like that? Let's maybe grab this red a second. Make this like the brightest part and make it the outer shape. Not sure. So that then, wait, what did I just do? For some reason that looks better. I'm trying to work out why. Is it just the colour that it's got? Wait, I'm so confused. Why does that look better? But is it the colour that it's got selected? Okay, that's cool. It looks awesome, Troy, by the way. It looks sick. It felt really good, and probably the only original thing that I've done, and I'm really proud of. But that's awesome, because you've not been doing it that long though. To be fair, to end up creating an original already, and obviously still learning the whole techniques of it all. Well done. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Well done. Okay, cool, that's looking sick. Let's maybe just try and get like a really good reflection in here, like in the beams, a little something like that, just to really make it look like that is a really good reflection in this beautifully glossy surface. Oof, that's looking nice, that's looking good. Talking about Discord, guys, there's a new doodle challenge, don't miss it. Absolutely, Milo, thanks for pointing that out. All right, let's try and get onto the bars then. Let's see what we can do. Do you know what, recently I keep forgetting that I never used the bloom effect on like neon stuff, and I could probably get away with trying to do it a bit more, but I always like to be in full control, so I always do it myself. Is that alpha locked? No, it's just not working. Bloom. Why aren't you working? Why is that gone funny? It's not alpha locked, so it should work. Why are we not blooming? What's happening there? Alright, okay, well I guess we'll do it ourselves. I don't know why that's... Why is that not... Go to options, go to bloom. Any ideas? Any ideas? Because none of this is working. Right. Sod it. Thank you, Milo. I appreciate that. A little 20k. Very pleased with that. Let's duplicate the life out of this. And let's continue in our normal fashion of Gauge and black. Now, do I want to go bright red? Do I want to go bright red with the bars, or do I want to so YouTube red like that? White red. %. Let's change this one to add. Let's go to black. That one about 10. See if we can get away with 10. Change this one to add as well. Red is such a tricky color to try and get right. I say this all the time. 5%. That looks okay. Duplicate the layout of it. Red is so tricky. Yeah, it's quite frustrating color to try and work with, to be honest, because it is just so funny. Let's see if we can maybe just grab a darker red and try that in the center here, which helps the bars stand out a little bit more. Let's then go to the outside edge, which I think is this one here, and drop in a darker tone again. Let's go for a really dark tone. Let's drop in a almost dark crimson there. I think the contrast there is actually going to help quite a bit. That's going to help the colours stand out a little bit more. And I think this on the inside here also needs to be like a lot darker. Maybe not that dark. What if we changed it from add to maybe something else? Color dodge looks good. Add is a bit bright. Color dodge looks okay. What does normal look like? Oh, color dodge and normal basically the same thing. Add actually doesn't look that bad. Bear with me, folks. My mind is just trying to work out the best color tones to work with here. I think the red looks okay there with the bars. The only thing I would probably do is actually get rid of the white ones. Is this blurred at all? That one is blurred. Okay, let's duplicate this one for a second and then alpha lock it and fill it with the correct red. So let's fill that. It doesn't work well on red. Fair enough. Oh, I nearly went well on red again. Well on red. Let's select the shape. Oh, I'll tell you what I need to do. Yeah, right. Jesus, this isn't my first time either. Like, you know, I do this sort of drawing malarkey pretty often. Like, I tend to do quite a few like videos. I don't know if you guys have seen them. Anyone maybe just sort of, you know, checked out my YouTube channel anytime? No? Ah, cool. Right, let's then blur this out and try and leave the center. You get a bit more 3D look and get rid of those edges that are a bit too, they already look a boatload better. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to move on to the center because if I don't, I'm just going to start losing my mind. Duplicate the life out of this. Now I think in the center, I'm going to go for white, I think. So let's see how we get on. Let's just go Gaussian blur. Let's blur this right out to about 20%. We then change the next one to add. Gaussian blur. We go to about 10. That gets off a nice hue, doesn't it? Let's then change this one to add as well. Gaussian blur. You should start a YouTube channel. Sounds good. Yeah, I think there's a bit of like some good possibilities in there for me. You know, I think it's a good career path. But you know, just a hobby, I guess. Right. Let's then grab black, fill the outside edge. We are struggling. Let's fill this layer. Do you know what it is? I know what it is. It's because I've had a nap. Like, being like, you know, the old timer that I am, having a nap before coming on here was a mistake. Okay, that's looking okay. It's looking okay. Maybe these layers here just need to be toned down a little bit, if anything. That's all good, Jay. It's all good. center being white looks good. It's just not very crisp, and that's fine because it's only because these ones here are red that they don't appear to be sort of as soft and as hue as the other ones. So that's fine. We'll just do that, and then we'll duplicate this layer, and we'll just cheat a little bit. We're going to grab this one, drag it underneath all of these little circles that I've still got to do. Grab that, move that down a little bit. Let's cheat and just erase the edges, just erase these corners here that don't really match up. Change that to add, and let's just lower the opacity down. Maybe gauge and blur that out just a little bit. So what I'm trying to do there is I'm just trying to create the bars sort of reflection in the under shape, but because they're quite close and small, it's not working out that well. So we'll try it again. We'll do it on manual this time. We're going to try and get like a little effect like this one here. How's Miss Craig? Yeah, she's very good, thank you. She's very good. Been very patient with me this week because I've been getting videos done. Lots of patience for this little hobby of mine. Now I got when I typically get like ideas like that, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go record now. So like you and the dogs just need to I don't know, go hang out in the bedroom or something, so out of the way, shut the door, keep the dogs in there, and I can record. But she's always very, very patient with me. She understands. She's wonderful for that. Very understanding. That's looking good. That's nice. And then we can add some texture maybe on the inside. That's looking pretty good though. I like the little reflections there underneath. They're quite strong, which is looking good. Now, where is this layer? Let's just try and add in the tiniest little bit in these lines here. I want to make sure this is really fine, but make sure it actually runs a little bits like that. That one's a little bit off angle wise. In fact, that entire layer I just spotted is a little bit off. So we're just going to warp this one round. Keep that out there, but just bring that in just a little bit. The doodle challenge is this week. Looks funny. I'll probably draw something funny. It's definitely a challenging one. I definitely saw it, and straight when I finished it, I was like, not too sure if this one is a bit too tricky. But I thought I'd test you. This line works really poor. So nice to have an understanding significant other. It absolutely is. It makes everything super easy, and I think it's different. Like if people understand that it's like not just like for me, so I can only use my example. And she understands it's not just something that I do, and it's going somewhere. It's going somewhere in the end. So she knows, you got to keep putting the time in now and really focus on it. Push it really far. Okay, I'm going to leave that, I think, for a moment, other than the inside, which I just want to add, as I mentioned, some little lines of texture to. So maybe change this to add. that looks a bit too straightforward. That. Let's try. I love this heavy metal brush. Heavy metal, because when you pop it in there, you can just add so much texture. Make this object then go from something that's really flat in its style to something completely different, like a brushed metal look. Metal brushes will be coming soon as well, folks, from moi. I say soon, it's like in the pipework to be done. You've been working on something for my dad for Father's Day. That's awesome. So I haven't done the doodle challenge lately. That's this weekend, isn't it? Your Father's Day. I had an idea to do a tutorial for Father's Day. Well, it was based on that I would do it on Father's Day, but I've not got around to doing it because I've been busy with the other designs. But I wanted to try and put a little bit of time into making a design that would be usable for people to celebrate Father's Day and Mother's Day and everything in between, but with the concept that with concept that people aren't here anymore, sort of thing. So for people whose parents maybe aren't here, a design that's based around that concept. So some way of celebrating that that idea. I thought that was quite nice and something I can work on. I'm just adding in minor details. Did I just see David Kim there in the chat? How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Good to see you. Are you at work? I'm doing very well, David. If you're asking, which you said, I hope everybody's doing well. You should do that idea. That would be a nice dedication to your own dad. Yeah, I was, like I said, I was planning on doing it maybe for this weekend with that in mind, but just never got round to doing it, and I don't want to rush it either. There's a few concepts that I've got for it, so I don't want to rush it like crazy. David Kim with the super chat. At work, gonna get married next week. Oh, congratulations to you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Super excited and nervous. Came here to calm the nerves. Dude, I wish you the best of luck. I'm sure she'll say yeah, mate. I'm sure she'll be there. You're getting married next week. Awesome. How long have you been together, David? And I really appreciate the super chat. Oh, you've been busy, haven't you? Didn't you move into a new house as well? Am I right in saying? Been together for almost 2 years. Oh, awesome. David, how long have you not been in? How long have you been? When was the last time you were in the chat? Did you see that I got engaged? I can't remember what we. When was the last time you were in? I think you did. I think you popped in. I can't remember off the top of my head. Moved in, still unpacking. You did not? Oh, well, I got engaged. When was that? Very end of April. Thank you. We get married next August. But you've been a busy bee, my friend. Busy bee. Oh, shut up, Jimmy. See all these little nice crisp white touches we're just adding in here just to create that surround a bit more. All these lovely little extra little touches on here. David, what day do you get married? Say next week. Guest list fills up super quick, so hard to choose who to invite. Hear that? Hear that? I was tempted just to get a flight. I've always joked I'm just going to get a flight to Tahiti and just drag 2 strangers off of a beach, and that'd be it. Do that out there instead. Tahiti was just like the first name I can always just pluck like a random thing in my mind, and Tahiti was always the one that I just randomly just grab. The 23rd, so what is that, next Thursday? That's next Thursday, isn't it? Ooh. Also, congrats on hitting 20k subs, bro. Love to see you reap the rewards of your efforts. You deserve every bit of it. Congrats on the engagement again. David, I really appreciate you dropping in, my friend, and also the super chat, but also sharing the love with the 20k as well. I appreciate that. And Funky T's here, K's here. How are you doing, Kay? Kay, we got to talk about this gold tutorial. That's what I did, actually. What do you mean? What do you mean, Julie? Sorry, you lost me a little bit. I just want to make sure I haven't missed anything. David says, been doing more dev week. God, I can't talk. Been doing more dev work and less design work. Is that not your favourite? Oh, sorry, the Tahiti. I'm with you. Sorry. I thought I was like completely lost there. That's my bad. Do you know what, guys? When you guys see Kay in chat and go on and say like, what did you say here? It's like little things like, hey, doing your tutorials soon, or I'm doing another one. I love that, because I was getting at Kay at the start of the year to get into the YouTube stuff and just crack on with it, and I'm in an RM, but she did it flying, and now look. Got this little following, and I love it. I love to see it. It's great. Okay, I think I need to just get off this, because I'll just detail forever. We will never get out of it. The only thing I should do is just add in a big sort of bit of blur that just pushes out from this area here. So a bit of red light that just sort of pushes outwards. So the angle sort of matches up this way. Like that, just a little push out of color. Maybe I hide that underneath. I'm not quite sure. Look how many layers have gone into the inside of that YouTube logo. Jesus. All the way to here. So Julie, I ran away and got married and used 2 strangers. Don't do it. I didn't know you got married, Julie. I suppose there's lots of things I don't know. And Apple Crisp as well. Apple Crisp is sick. Apple Crisp, Funky. Who else have we had on before? Zara Cat? Zara? One of them. Oh, I feel bad for probably butchering that. What should we do? What's the time? Oh my god. I've got half an hour to get through this. You've just reminded me, actually, David, seeing you've got the bronze Joel Create membership on YouTube. I need to update those icons soon, so that the newer one, because now people are starting to hit the golds, hit the bronzes and the silvers. I want to upgrade them a little bit and make them stand out even more. So they I need to make some time to go do that. There's so many cool creators that are coming up in the Procreate space. There's people that I can see on YouTube and stuff at the minute as well that are like, I keep an eye out for special guests all the time, and I've not done one for a while. I know I spoke to Kay about it, and but I keep an eye out for them, and some of them don't fit just yet. Like I know my audience who watches my videos expects to hear audio cues, in terms of do this, do that, do this, do that sort of thing. So I'm just waiting to find somebody who's also doing that. And as well, guys, if you ever see anyone as well who you think is a good fit, please just send me the link. But they have to do audio cues. Provide palettes in the same way. I'm not sure about time lapsing. I'm kind of happy with that being as it is, but something like that. Jay, do it. Nah, Jay, do it. If you can get one video out there and realize how well it will do, you just got to do it. I have a little arm and my phone plugged in. That's all I do. Phone plugged down. I have to, and then eventually you can build up and get other stuff. Like I bought the mic, the sketchboard, but you don't need the sketchboard at all. You just need your phone down and a tripod. This little arm here is one of these little spring-loaded mount. So what you do is, you clamp this end onto a desk. So it just has a little clamp there. Clamp one in, and then you've got the springs and whatnot to just freely move that around, and you just put a little phone holder on the end, which is just a couple of quid, and that's it. You can angle it down and over the top, and you have yourself a little setup ready to go. Look at my first videos. I had a tripod, and it had a selfie stick screwed into the end of it. I maxed it out and then tipped the top of it, had a pivot so you could adjust the angle. So I had a tripod on my dining room table with a selfie stick sticking out of it, with a phone grip on the end, obviously, shooting down. And then to balance it out, I had cloves and coats, and I think even a plant pot on the cloves to make sure that the tripod didn't tip over. And I was on my dining room table. So, makes me so ill just thinking about it. Yeah, so like Marie says, you follow some people, and people can follow along with those tutorials. It's just not what my audience on YouTube would expect to see. They wouldn't expect to see a video with no audio cues, because that's all I do, and it's all everybody special guest wise has always done. So yeah, it's just matching up to that. So I just need to scroll back here and find the palette that I originally made for the 2022, and I just don't know if I'm going to find it. Hold fire. Patreon exclusive. Do we know? Can anyone check for us what number? That's the samurai, so I've actually gone past it. I don't know what number the Patreon exclusive was. That looks like greens, reds, and oranges. That looks like the elf one, so it looks like it should be around here. I'm reckoning. That looks like the elf one as well. A little bit yellow. Oh, I think it's this one. Oh, it's that one. That's cool. 20th for 20. Yeah, I remember now. So I'm going to try and set that as a similar look. go to the palette. Let's maybe just drag in this color here on the outside. Kay says she always nervous, but she pushes past it. Yeah, I felt the same thing about my voice. I thought no one's going to want to listen to this. Turns out quite a lot of people like listening to the old Brit voice. Plus, you've got to look at the spectrum of people in the Procreate space. You have, I don't know where Tatty is necessarily from, but James is from the UK, James Julia. You've got people from the States, like, is it JD? Oh, I don't want to butcher that, I'm sorry. Flo is from Holland, I believe. So, like, there's all sorts of accents all over the place. And Marie, your voice is not annoying. Not in the slightest. Yeah, no, see, like, there's an exception, you know. If Julie did a tutorial, you know, subtitles would be required. Probably like a person in the corner, you know, like, just, like, pausing the video with a remote and going, you just need to create a new layer, mate. That's all she's saying. You just need to select the second color on the second row. That's what she's saying. So just a guy in the corner. Wow, John. What did I do? Oh, I really improvise. I'm with you. DaVinci Resolve is exactly what I edit my videos in. Justin popped in and said, "Hey Joel, congrats on 20k. Always love watching and following your tutorials. Much love." Justin, I appreciate you dropping in, my friend. Sharing some love in the chat. Thanks for popping in. They love a little bit of the British voice. A little control of the beat button, yeah. Dude, this is not... Dude, it's really not my voice, but how I talk. My accent is from New York, Lord help. Means nothing to any of us, though, like, over here. Like, where your voice, your accent's from. I need to really get a move on with this one. Right, let's crack on. Let's get into here. Let's create some white highlights on the outside edge. I toned down my Cockney accent. I think everybody tries to, like, change their voice in a slight way when they do videos, just to be better pronounced on certain areas here and there. I think you've got to be honest with you. You know, if you want to appeal to lots of people. Luckily, I haven't had anybody yet, you know, drop me a comment and been like, "Bro, your voice is just so annoying." Like, that would kill me if I heard that. I mean, they'd be getting blocked like immediately as well, but you know, you don't want to hear that, do you, from anyone? Now, I'm really a bit anxious now about how this is going to turn out for these bulbs and stuff, so let's try my best to get through this. Just need to create a bulb, and then good. Excuse me, folks, while I just get my nut down onto this one. I'm gonna just like draw in a little squiggly line in the center, little side parts there, just wiggle this one up and down like so, create another new layer. Actually, I'm going to duplicate this one. No, unlock. Oh, that's cool. It's like really dark and moody. My voice is soothing. I appreciate that. I really do. Lots of people say kind of a similar thing, which is nice. I think I'm happy with that bulb. I think that's got like a really... I'm not sure if it's bright enough though. That's the only thing, is I think it might need a bit of a brighter look to it, just to match up to the sort of brightness of the other side. Oh, I just need to make sure this music is still playing in the correct order. I think it is. Oh, do we keep it really like just clean and sort of low like that? I'm not sure the vibe goes with it either side. No, change that from normal to add, and then we'll see what the bulb looks like. I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to roll with that. I'm going to pinch all those layers together. I ain't got the time to be faffing about. Yeah, a lot of people do say that actually about mine, which is quite nice, because everybody always has their own opinion, don't they, on their own voice. So to hear people say, oh no, it's soothing. Do you know what? I had a comment the other day. This might make you laugh. I had a comment the other day, and initially I didn't know how to take it. I was like, is this an insult? Is this like taking the mick? But they commented saying, great video. I watched it before I went to bed and it knocked me right out. Thank you. And I was like, wait, what are you trying to say? Like, am I just, oh, thanks for the boring video, really appreciate it. Managed to get to sleep in no time once I found this. Thank you. I was like, what? I just shrugged it off. I was like, okay. Lullabies. I just didn't know what to take of it. I was like, okay, thanks, like, I guess. I feel like all these gaps are like really random, and I've not spent enough time sort of positioning them, but they look okay. I think maybe the first one needs to be a bit more out of the corner and a bit up here, a bit closer. Random tracks don't work from this album. There we go. That was rude. I mean, he commented on the video, so it helped out the algorithm a little bit, but meh. We'll change a couple of these at random to add, just to add some much brighter tones in there. I think I'm almost about to run out of layers at this rate. Let's try and find this one up there. Wait, can't I just do this? That did not work. Oh, I found it. There we go. First time ish. That's looking cool. Let's try and find this one here. There it is. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. We've got two different styles there going on. Now this is just gonna have to be flattened into one layer. That is stressing me out. Damn, went one layer too much. That's cool. Right, we've got the inside walls. That's the background layer. That's the inside walls. That's cool. Let's do them. What's the time? 10:02. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I imagine he meant it in a good way. It's just like when you randomly just read that in your comment section, you're like, what? You can never tell these days. I always feel like somebody's just taking the mick out of you. Or you don't want to be taking the mick out of, should I say. That's funny though. It's like, okay, cool dude, thanks. You just totally pause, like, what? Don't know what this means. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Might leave that nice and glossy like that for time. What's this? This is the outside edge, and this is the border at the top. So let's clipping mask a layer to this. Let's get nice and right. I can't see the layer too well. I think that's what it is. Let's little accents like that so I can actually see it. Thanks, Troy. If I zoom out, we've got two different styles though, which I don't really like. I don't like the YouTube and that. They just look really odd. That looks sick, and that's, if you've done, Troy, there's a 2022 tutorial that came out on Patreon. It's one of the exclusives. I think it's tutorial 20. If you scroll back, you can learn how to create this sort of light in a text element. So if you pop back into that tutorial, that's ready and waiting already. The skill set's there, which is pretty cool. Actually, I might do a refresher on that at some point, just to remind people that it is there. If they want to, they can learn how to do this particular style. Now I need to just add in a little, oh, is that layer not clipped? Just little glosses of colour on the edge here where the light is maybe just spilling round onto the edge of the surround. Just a little bit of colour here and there will just make that really pop. Little bright, crispy edges. Little something here, little something here. But overall, it does look pretty cool. I think just a bit of a mix mash of colours. That's the only thing. Just plug in as a little bit, but for just an Instagram post and not a tutorial, it fits its purpose. Lovely, lovely, nice and light. And then I think what I could do there is also just the same as the background. So I think I created like a glow here, which is not going to work anymore. I think, well, wrong layer. I think in the background we'll create like another new layer and create some nice sort of glow just out here, just pushing that color outwards to the left. Or something like that. That looks pretty cool. Again, that's really bright on your screen, but it's not quite as bright on mine. I have to have a look at that. Now that work has settled down, I have tagged you in several of your projects to I have tagged several of your projects to recreate. Funky, okay, sorry, I don't know why I keep calling you Funky. I don't know how you're doing it at the minute. I don't know how you're managing to keep up with doing your own tutorials, let alone doing all the work that you want to learn from other people. You must be absolutely rushed off your feet. Right, the text at the front. I can't leave it like that. That looks really boring in comparison to the rest. I'm thinking potentially just darkening up the palette a lot. So going for like a dark grey maybe. Alpha lock, fill that, and I can give the whole thing like a really sort of metal look to it maybe. So a little something like that, and then just go in with some brighter tones. So here, clipping mask it. Let's just very basically do some sort of shiny lines through to start with. That's always good. Let's go to the outside edge, create a new layer, and let's really chamfer up these edges. Yeah, something like that. That looks nice and cool, nice and 3D. Let's just get these lines in here too. What you're saying is you need me to take, like, you want me to take a week off so that you guys can catch up on like all your tutorials, including mine. That's fine. If you guys want me to take a week off, I'll have to do it, I guess. I'll have to do it for the greater good, you know what I mean? For the greater good. So these probably are going to get toned right down shortly because the it's not going to make much sense if they're sat underneath, getting like a little bit of light and a little bit of the chamfer look, because the light source is way off in the right hand side. So, and there's things sat on top of it. So I just want to create that 3D look to all of the text quickly before finishing up. So a little something like that. 20,000. I think maybe if we started to add in some like accents of the colors around it. So now if I went to go ahead and grab, say, red, and then start to, let's go onto here, change this to add, and then around these areas here to start to, yeah, let's just gloss in some nice bright tones here that are coming off from the red above. I think we could go maybe a bit darker with that tone. Let's grab this red here. Especially right over these, there's like little ledges right on the top of the text, and just trying to incorporate the red glow down into the text a little bit more. So it looks like they, look at that, it looks like they live together. They're in the same sort of space. Yeah, and you have kids as well. It's crazy. I said to you before, I don't know how all of you do it at all. I don't know how you keep up with all the creators. You know, I don't follow every single creator that's out there for Procreate, but there's loads. I don't know how you manage to keep up with all the designs that come your way, and, you know, pick and choose what you do and do not want to do for that sort of week. It's mad. Obviously you do mine though first, right? You do mine first. That makes, I mean, that goes without saying, right? Oh, and caffeine. Oh, you can't do caffeine. You do them while in meetings. Company time to learn how to use Procreate. I mean, I respect it. I respect it. Okay, cool. That looks like it's actually part of the space a little bit more. I think the front end here, I'm going to create really light glosses again of color. It's a general gloss from this left hand side there with a bit of yellow. Let's grab the red. Little gloss over the front end here, like so, from that. And then let's also darken this up. Let's go very dark. I think very dark looks pretty cool. What do we reckon? Do we reckon if I just, let's see, duplicate that again, change that to add. I love changing things to add. That layer effect is so sick. And that as well, one more time. Maybe not the front one. Although turn that on and maybe drop it down a little bit. Cool. Right, let's just add in a floor and a background. So real quick, we create a floor by just putting a dot of color. Bang. Grab your cursor, grab the freeform option, flatten this down, and we create a little flat surface here that everything can sit on top of. So like there's a spotlight coming down from the top, but we lower the opacity right down. And then also let's create some shadows underneath. That's looking cool. And then a little bit of color on the floor. Let's create a new layer. Let's just change this to maybe to add again. Into that space on the floor, maybe just a little bit of color. And then the red is so dominant. Let's actually just make sure my iPad's not changed to night shift, which it has. And gloss in some color at the bottom here. So it definitely looks like it's sort of shining down onto there. That looks pretty sick. Let's grab that yellow again, or even the yellow, not the orange. Ooh, that looks quite cool. 20,000. Let's just do one thing. Sorry, folks, I know I'm miles away in my own thoughts here, but you're watching the final touches all come through. So let's go to selection, select, invert, go to this layer here. Let's fill that layer. I'll fill up that layer a second, change that to white. Cursor, zoom out of this bad boy, tap down a couple of times just to add some maybe, oh no, I did it on the wrong section, did I? Let's just leave that there. Select, invert, here, fill the layer, grab the cursor, tap up a couple of times or even down. That looks quite nice. Add in a nice edge there. That's looking a lot better. A lot better. Popping back in to thank Funky T. I did my first successful animation in her diner tutorial. Woohoo! Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Kate, thank you. Just subscribe to the Funky. Your drawings are awesome. But Belinda says, I'm late to the party. This is freaking awesome. I appreciate that. Just a little sort of celebratory sort of design. These ones don't tend to obviously make it to tutorials, but truth be said, it's nothing I haven't taught already. So you can always learn all of these techniques from certain tutorials that I've already done. Just trying to sort of tuck this under here just a little bit, or make it definitely look like it sits there. Yeah, the shadow that sits underneath is wrong. That doesn't look very nice. So let's do it again. Let's maybe just do a selection instead. So let's go color fill, select black. Let's go motion blur maybe. I love motion blur at the minute. I love the effect it gives. Look at that. Now I've got like sort of dynamic lines getting pushed out from there. And what we'll do is we'll select all of it. I think, truth be said, if I was going to do this again, I would spend even more time on this text here. I don't feel like it's the right color. Potentially we could actually just adjust that with one concept I've got in my mind, where I'm just going to choose a very dark tone from over here, so like a dark orange, and just split the text completely. So split the text in half. So like, it's probably a bit too bright. Put that into like the red, a darker red. You know, something a bit like that. So that the text is at least sort of, at least ties in with the rest of the design. So like 3D red into a bit of a darker tone for over here, maybe. I think that already looks better in a way. It just looks a bit cheesy maybe. Let's just try and darken that up a little bit further. Do you know what I mean? Does that look better? Oh, Elizabeth says, pop in, back out again. See you all next time. Appreciate you, Elizabeth, popping in. What do we reckon, kids? Do we reckon the gold into the red on the front here, or the silver that we had before? I feel like that links in a lot more. I don't know. So that was, yeah, I think I prefer the silver as well. But I think these glows on the front are a bit too bright. Let's lower them down so they're a bit more subtle. And the outlines on the front are too bright. I think maybe I can get away with, actually, that's not a bad idea. That's not bad at all. Silver looked way more fancy. Okay, appreciate that. Let's change this to normal a second, and then let's go to the red. Let's grab a dark red and just block in this little bit of red on the edges of the text. It's Just want to see if it's just like these little bright edges that I've added in are just the wrong tone maybe, and they're just throwing me off just a little bit. I think those ones in the background there need to go. That looks a little bit better. And then the shadow definitely needs to be darker, should I say. I was about to say brighter. Okay, lit. Let's first of all go right to the top. God, so many layers in this one. Let's copy the whole thing and let's paste the whole thing again. Because I always like to do this at the very top of the layers and then go through all the layer options here just to see if something sticks out with me a little bit more. You know, multiply always looks pretty cool. You can just get much more contrast in your design. It looks so, like if we look at that there, it's gone a lot darker and looks really moody with the lighting. Whereas if I undo that, look how much brighter that gets. Again, what you always see on your side always looks far brighter than what it actually looks like on my screen. So I already quite like that a little bit more. 20,000, I think that looks pretty sick. Let's just scroll through the rest of them though, just to see if something stands out. Overlay is always a good one. Add is always good because, you know, I think I've like just got this thing where I just, you know, oh, I like pretty lights. Every time I like change it to add, I'm always like, oh, that looks pretty good. Overlay is nice, gives a lot more contrast, also punches out color a little bit more. That looks pretty sweet. We'll undo that for a second. Okay, cool. The other things to always try as well is to go, and I genuinely do this quite often, just go up to hue, saturation and brightness under adjustments and just see if you can like move it across a little bit more to the left. Like in my opinion, that looks really nice. I know it's not the YouTube color though, unfortunately, but you end up with more of a warmer tone design. I've moved it ever so slightly to the left. It's kind of more pinky, and then obviously if you scroll all the way through, you'll get some really sick colors. That looks sick for the YouTube. That looks really cool. Done. Didn't know you could do that. Delete the screenshot. Green. But we'll go back to the center. You can always increase the saturation or decrease it. Of course, tinker with brightness. No, don't like any of them. Let's go back to adjustments. Let's go gradient map. I know this particular design has set colors, but we'll just see what they look like. Looks pretty cool, that gradient there, and like a black and white, very dark and moody. Really like that. Okay, so I think I liked it set to multiply and lowered down just a little bit to about 25%. Let's grab my logo. Let's just pop that in the center for a second. Lower the opacity right down. Let's just scale this one down a bit more. Where's that center line gone? I've turned off snapping. That's one. Let's grab that center line, hitting that orange line running down the middle. Pop that on there. Sick. Okay, I think I'm done. I think that's it. Again, you'll see this on Instagram short, like probably tomorrow. Just a nice quick and, well, I say quick and easy, it's taken 2 hours. Nice little design there. Pretty pleased with the logo of the YouTube. Just lots of, you know, if I had more time, I would add in even more of these crisp little details in here. These little nice white edges that just sort of, they separate your layers of your shape so you can make sure that they stand off of each other. They look pretty sick. I would also try and do a better job of making sure that this actually looks like it sits directly on top of there. Arguably that could actually be done quite easily, but I'm not going to tinker with it today. I'm pretty pleased with that. And also these lights look pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with that. The colors don't look too good on the screen that I can see for you. Do you know what? There's one thing I do want to tinker with in there actually. And that is, I think it's this layer here. Yeah, I want to create a new layer here, change that to add, and just separate these layers a tiny bit. Where the inside here just needs a little bit of a coat of something just to separate the floor, as I'll call it, on the inside there to the little wall that runs around the edge. Just that. That's all that needs to be done, I think. I say that I could sit here forever. I get so guilty of doing this all the time. Okay, cool. I'm done. Love, Death and Robots. Oh, isn't that a Netflix series? Am I right in saying that? It's different artwork each episode, a different style. I appreciate that, Kay, as well. Download until you know. Exactly, Belinda. I do it all the time. I'm always like, oh, just one extra little bit. Oh, a little bit there. You could spend hours on lots of fine details that mean nothing to anybody else, but overall, they you see what you could achieve and what you could do better on. So overall, no, do you know what? I'm pleased. We're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it there, and we're gonna end the stream there as well. We have the new tutorial for Patreon coming out on Tuesday next week, but I think I said early access was actually going to go up this Friday. I think it was. And then again, next week's tutorial, you'll get a sneak peek of it. I'm thinking I'm even going to do a sneak peek of it this week and get it. I just want to sort of get it out there in the space. It might even be Friday. But yeah, we'll get a little sneak peek of next week's tutorial out a little bit earlier. And then this Friday's tutorial, you've already seen it on stream if you've seen it when you watched before about the 3D reef design. So just a little design today, again, as I mentioned, for the celebratory sort of 20,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you to all of you. Like, a lot of you are just awesome supporters. You've been here for a long time, and not today. I know it's been a relatively short stream, but I really do appreciate every single one of you. Your support. You're in here all the time. You're in the comments and videos, liking and commenting on Instagram. All of your support just keeps pushing us to do better and better, and just continuing to grow the channel. Like this, if I can hit 30k by the end of the year, I'll have gone way over my goal. My goal was to hit 20 this year, just to hope that we hit another 10k. We've done it in June, which is just crazy. So if I can get another couple of videos that do really well, and with your support as well in terms of liking the videos and commenting, it always does so well for the algorithm. We can get another one. We can get 30 by the end of the year, maybe. It has actually been a bit mind-blowing to think that we've done that in a year and a half, I think, of the channel. A year and a half the channel's been live. I think our first tutorial was like 14th of January to not, would it have been last year, the year before, something like that. So it has been pretty crazy to get to 20k already. It's mental. It's absolutely crazy. And if the rate I'm looking at it and it's growing, it's like, it's not a straight line. It's a straight line. Sorry, it's not a straight line. It's a curving line. It's curving upwards. So we can maybe quickly and swoop up and just continue to grow everywhere. And just to bring other people with us, we're going to continue to do the special guest sort of stuff. I'm going to try again. I'm always looking for people. I've spoken to Kay about it. But I've spoken to, always keeping an eye out. So please send us anybody. I want to make sure that we can try and give other people the opportunity as well. I've said this from the start, and it was the whole reason for the special guest, is if you can see someone you feel, I don't care how many subscribers they got, even if they've got 20,000, it doesn't matter. But if they've got 2 subscribers, it doesn't matter. It's the exposure to give somebody that boost that I got at the beginning, which we can give to somebody else. The exposure is great. It gets people's names in front of people, and they can grow as well. So I just want to see what we can get them up with next, because I've got loads of ideas, not just designs, but loads of ideas for content. I'm working on the concepts for collabs. I'm working on concepts for this, that, and the other. So I just really hope we can continue just to fly to the moon. But again, just a massive thank you to, if you're watching this at a later date as well and you're not in the stream, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the stream, everybody who supports the channel in whatever way. You guys are awesome, and if you weren't here, I wouldn't be here, as I always say. So I really do appreciate it, and I'm feeling the love as well. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your days, your mornings, your afternoon, your evenings, wherever you are in the world. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a lovely rest of your week. New tutorial out on Friday as always, and new tutorial out on Patreon next week, which will be the final one for the month on Patreon, and sneak peeks of upcoming stuff as well. Again, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Appreciate the love, and I'll see you next week.